Hello and welcome to the Yankees on Deck podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cunningham, and the Yankees lose again. They lose their sixth consecutive series in a row, this time to the Cincinnati Reds, who are not a good baseball team. They have one of the worst offenses in the league. I'm talking about the Reds here, even though we're not good either right now. And this team just continues to massively struggle. Most of the lineup is in one huge slump. And Aaron Boone continues to show that he cannot make decisions. He can't make the correct ones. Clearly, that has clearly been visible these last several days, especially today, not putting one of our two hottest hitters, not hottest, but one of our two hotter hitters in today's lineup because the analytics said that's not the right move. The analytics said you can't do lefty on lefty matchups, even though the rest of the lineup outside of Judge and Soto are doing squat. They're not doing a thing. But nope. Can't bend the rules on that. Can't bend the rules on the analytics. I already talked about Boone today with addressing the Juan Soto. No, not Juan Soto. The Gleyber Torres and Marcus Stroman incident and how I thought that was incredibly ridiculous and basically shrugging it off as, oh, that shouldn't have happened. No, the guy fired the team up because you're not doing your job. You are not holding these guys accountable when they're showing a lack of effort. And I'm not just talking about the team struggling. Obviously, when guys are struggling and not hitting, that doesn't mean they're not trying. I'm talking about the little fundamental stuff that this team has been lacking on defense lately. Running balls out. I'm really sick of this shit right now. We're about to get swept by the Reds, who are a fourth place team. They're not going anywhere this year. They come into town, they throw two scrub pitchers on the mound in Ashcraft and Abbott. And we, of course, we make them look like Cy Young contenders. The key highlight of this episode is going to be very brief because honestly, I'm pissed off. It's late. I just want to record this and get the key points out to you guys because I feel like that's fair to you. I've been slacking a little bit on episodes lately. I want to get back on track. Key points of this game: Anthony Volpe actually broke out a little bit in this game. He had a 2-run double, which was nice to see after this team was down 3-0 because Carlos Rodon, who actually wasn't that bad, by the way, he pitched 5 1/3 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 earned runs. Long ball burned him a bit. He gave up 2 home runs. But at the end of the day, I mean, you can't say he didn't keep the team in the game. Offense just didn't hit outside of Anthony Volpe hitting that double. There's just no excuse for that. And look, yes, I know the pitching has been bad. I know Carlos Rodon is coming off, prior to tonight, 3 bad starts in a row. I understand that. But Carlos Rodon, honestly, he did the job tonight. And with a competent offense that if not for being in the slump, we would have won today's game, I think. But again, the offense not hitting and Aaron Boone continuing to make dumb decisions. Yankee management just has no idea what they're doing right now. And I've addressed this on my Yankees on Deck Instagram channel. If you guys want to go give that a follow, I'd greatly appreciate it. But I'm going to cover all of that today in this episode. Or should I say, 4th of July. It's past midnight here. Happy 4th, by the way, everybody. But Aaron Boone not putting Ben Rice and Austin Wells in the lineup tonight is absolutely absurd, mind-bogglingly stupid. I can't even the fact that Ben Rice is right now the 4th best hitter on this team. Or you could argue actually 3rd because Volpe's in a massive slump. JD Davis stinks. Torres been terrible. Verdugo hasn't been good. LeMahieu stinks. Jahmai Jones, ugh. Trevino, nothing burger with the bat. Ben Rice, who's been a top 3 hitter on this team, he's hitting over 270. He wasn't in the lineup tonight, but nope, we got him a pinch at bat as soon as the lefty got out of the game. Yep, Aaron Boone got him out there. The guy's hitting 270. He's having impressive at-bats. He's walking a lot. The on-base percentage is 378. He had a huge double last night to get the team back in the game. And you sit him? Who else is in the lineup is doing anything? Nobody. Outside of Judge and Soto, the answer is nobody. So J.D. Davis, who got released by the Oakland A's and who stinks, was 0 for 3 tonight, by the way. You're going to put him at first base because he profiles better against lefties, even though he's just a much worse hitter overall right now than Rice. You're going to really do that. Give me a free break. And then not starting Austin Wells. Look, again, lefty-lefty matchups. Well, guess what? You could have started him last night against the righty. Nope, you didn't do that. Of course, you put Trevino back in there. Then you pinch hit Wells late in the game, and he has an amazing at-bat, actually in the 9th inning where he walks, gets 3-2 count, amazing takes, gets on base. Volpe hits into a double play. But again, why are you not starting Wells? Wells, another guy that's been a hot hitter of late, hitting over 270, couple home runs his last 15 games. Another guy you should be starting. Why are we sitting some of our more hotter hitters and putting in the guys that are hitting like crap right now? Why are we not going with the hotter hand? Are we seriously doing this platoon shit, especially with the young guys who we have no idea if they're going to be a part of this team's future or not? Give me a break, man. I'm really sick of this shit. The Yankees are just digging this team in the ground right now with some of these managerial decisions. They put out a punt lineup tonight. They punted this game. And I don't want to hear this shit, they made it close. They came back. No. There were 2 guys that could have been in the lineup tonight, in the starting lineup. I'm not talking about them pinch hitting. That could have been in the starting lineup, and they weren't because this team is obsessed with analytics, and it's analytics or nothing. Analytics are always number one. They're always right. Really? Analytics tell you to put in 2 shittier hitters over 2 better hitters that are been better lately right now, just because the matchup looks a little bit better. I don't want to hear the stats that Ben Rice can't hit lefties. I don't want to hear the stats that says Austin Wells can't hit lefties. Guess what? You guys hype up your prospects. You hype up your players. If these guys are for real, then guess what? If they're a part of this team's future and they're starters on this team down the road, guess what? They're going to have to face lefties. Get used to it. Why not get them that experience now? Because guess what? Nobody else in this lineup is doing anything. It's not like you could say, oh, yeah, Austin Wells, tough lefty-lefty matchup. Let's sit him and put Trevino because Trevino's hitting. Guess what? Trevino's not hitting for shit right now. So what is the alternative here, really? There's nothing. There's no downside to playing Ben Rice and Austin Wells consistently right now when they are hitting well and they are producing better than 2/3 of the guys in this lineup. Right now I'm talking over like a 15, 20, 30 game stretch I'm talking about here. Not a huge sample size, but these guys are young. They're killing it. They're doing great right now, and every opportunity they've been given to them. Go watch Austin Wells' at-bats tonight. He was great. Should have been starting. But nope, we got to stick to the analytics bullshit 24/7. And look, I'm not a guy that's against analytics. I just think it's complete BS that analytics completely overrides common sense, completely overrides gut feeling, completely overrides everything. I think it's ridiculous. People prop up analytics like it's the next up and coming thing and it gets you World Series championships. Guess what? That's not always the case. It's not. Texas Rangers won the World Series last year. Bruce Bochy, he's an old school guy. He won multiple rings with the San Francisco Giants, 2010, 2012. And then I believe the other one was, what was it? I think there was a third one in there too. Or maybe it was just 2. I don't know. But he won multiple rings with the Giants. Then he won last year with the Rangers. That guy's old school. You know how the Rangers front office probably does it? They get him all the information that he needs. He gathers it in. He takes in the information. And he makes the best decision. Now, will there be instances probably where he can make an analytical decision and the numbers say this and, oh, yeah, that sounds like a good move? Yeah. But there's also old school mentality to it too. You have a guy that's hitting and is red hot right now in the lineup, and the very next day you sit him because the analytics tell you to do that? That's stupid. That is dumb. Beyond dumb. Do you not understand baseball? And this is the problem, too. You have these analytical nerds in the front office that have probably never played past high school ball at the most, and they are coming up with these statistical analyses, and they are not factoring it at all. Hot and cold trends. Which guy? I don't care about the matchups, okay? Ben Rice can't hit lefties statistically. Well, guess what? The guy's on a tear right now, and guess what? The more you play a guy when he's on a hot streak, it usually bodes better for you. Not the other way around where a guy's really hot and then, oh, yep, let's sit him for a day or two or consecutive days, several days. Doesn't bode well at all. And they are doing that. They are honestly, they're honestly messing with these guys. It's ridiculous. Play the freaking kids, man. I mean, what do you have to lose? Nobody else is doing anything. Volpe's in a huge slump. Trevino's in a huge slump. Rizzo's out. J.D. Davis, who got released by Oakland, hasn't done anything in his time here. Every game he's played, he's done nothing. So what are we doing? Jahmai Jones was hitting DH tonight. Jahmai Jones, career 180 hitter Jahmai Jones. This team has a $300 million payroll, and they're putting guys out there on the field that probably wouldn't be on the Oakland A's. One guy that the Oakland A's didn't want. Now, I was all for, okay, let's bring in J.D. Davis because the guy can hit lefties a little bit. But I was talking about that in the sense before Ben Rice came up and was being Ben Rice and hitting and producing. Ben Rice has earned every bit of playing time over any of these other guys. So to put him in a platoon situation is flat out disrespectful. It makes no sense. This is the same shit, this stupid analytics shit that Buck Showalter was talking about when he was with the Mets. And everybody shit on Buck Showalter for being a horrible manager with the Mets. The Mets record was terrible. And then he got canned. Buck Showalter went to the media, or not media, but like on podcasts and stuff, shows, and he was talking about how the Mets front office would basically dictate. They would tell him what to do. He really had no free rein there, honestly, to make any of his own decisions. Buck Showalter's an old school guy. Brought the Orioles to the playoffs several years ago. Old Yankee manager too, if you're of that age and remember him. But at the end of the day, Buck Showalter said Brandon Nimmo, he would go 3 for 3 with 2 doubles, and the very next day, the analytics department would come in and say, "Oh yeah, you got to sit Nimmo today." Really? You use your freaking brain. I mean, come on, guys. Like this analytics stuff, it gets so over the top where people just all common sense sometimes goes out the window. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And shame on Aaron Boone. You know what? I honestly don't know if Aaron Boone is making all these decisions. He says he does, but I don't believe a word, honestly, that guy says. That so much BS comes out of that guy's mouth. But at the end of the day, I'm going to put on Aaron Boone because at the end of the day, Aaron Boone's the manager. He's wearing the big boy pants. He's showing up, taking the questions. I'm pinning it on him because he's agreeing with all this shit. So, first of all, that's mistake number one. And number two, in the 9th inning, when you have a runner on first, Austin Wells comes up late in the game. Mind you, he didn't start. And you're putting him in this tough situation. He battles in that at-bat, works a walk, runner on first, nobody out. Anthony Volpe comes back up. And you would think, well, the Yankees should put a bunt play on here. They're down 1 run. It's 3-2, 9th inning. Nobody in this lineup is hitting outside of 2 guys, Judge, Soto. And guess who's on deck? Juan Soto. Could move the runner to second in scoring position, have the tying run in scoring position, but nope. Boone lets him swing away, hits into a double play. Aaron Boone's a baseball guy, apparently. And that's not a play you put on. And I already know what I'm going to hear now from Aaron Boone. I'm going to hear, well, he had the double earlier in the game. He was heating up. Oh my gosh, man. I can't. I just can't. You have Juan Soto on deck. Volpe's fast. Maybe Volpe could get out a bunt hit. But nope, you let him swing away. Hits into a double play. Wonderful. At the end of the day, this team's not performing. I understand that. I understand the manager cannot step into the batter's box. I get that. But the decision-making on part of Aaron Boone and this Yankees coaching staff is astounding. It's just astounding. They are doing nothing to put this team right now in the best advantage to win games. They're doing nothing. They're not giving them the best chance to win. And that's what really infuriates me. Because they believe they're so right. Really. They believe they're so right. Aaron Judge was their grand slam. This guy came up. Mind you, Aaron Judge was like a late first round pick. He was a compensation pick because Nick Swisher decided to go to the Cleveland Guardians. So they hit on Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge comes up. He's an older rookie. He's like 24. Struggles a bit. Struggles a lot, actually, his first year. Comes back the next year. Wins the AL MVP. Rookie of the Year candidate. That Aaron Judge. They had a grand slam on him. But can you name me another Yankee, top Yankee, within the last decade that they've hit on? Gary Sanchez, bust. Tyler Austin, bust. Greg Bird, bust. And then also look at recent guys that they've called up in recent years and have not played them. Outside of Anthony Volpe. Anthony Volpe was the one, that was the guy they actually did right on. They called him up when he earned it, and they played him full-time at shortstop. He was able to go through the growing pains, learn and grow, and he's still going through that. But, he's in a massive slump. Hopefully he gets out of it. But these other young guys they call up, one of them being Peraza, they did the same shit. They called him up. Top prospect, was raking in the minor leagues. AAA was hitting over 300 all the time. They call him up. They barely play him. He struggles a little bit. Put him back on the bench. If you're not going to play him, just send him back down to AAA. And now they constantly do again and again. Now, years later, yep, up and down, up and down, up and down. Meanwhile, we got DJ LeMahieu playing over at third base, and he's just a rollover, ground-out machine. He can't hit. He's old. He's 35 years old. What more are we going to get from him? I understand you're locked down with him, but why are we calling up these kids right now and we're hardly playing them? I don't understand it. If you're not going to play them, send them back down to the minors where they could actually get some reps and improve. I'm sick of this shit, man. I'm really tired of it. It's the same drawing board with them. They're doing this. And the scary thing is they think they're right. They think they're right. So, look, yes, we can chalk it up as right now this team is in a horrible funk, and hopefully they get out of it soon because, my gosh, if you get swept by the Cincinnati Reds, how embarrassing. I mean, embarrassing is an understatement. But at the end of the day, you look at this team top to bottom, and they have flaws. And right now, Yankee management is doing nothing to put them in a better advantage to win these games. It's very clear. Aaron Boone is not the guy to lead this team to a World Series. And I've said that countless times before on this podcast. I don't like Aaron Boone as a manager. I don't like his decision-making. Let me be very clear. I gave Aaron Boone his props when he has made good decisions. Like earlier in the year, I thought he really wasn't screwing up that much at all. And I was honest on this show. I said, look, I think Aaron Boone's decision-making lately has been good. Obviously, it's easy to say that when the team's doing well. But there were times when they were losing, especially like to the Orioles. And I was like, you know what? It's not really Aaron Boone's fault there. The guy, Aaron Boone's hands were kind of tied there. I admit when Aaron Boone does a good job. But at the end of the day, when you look at the overall package of what he's done, it's not good. And then he's going on podcasts like Talking Yanks saying, I think Stroman, shouldn't have said that to Glaber. Come on, man. The old school mentality, and I agree with this, was holding guys accountable. Nowadays, it's completely shifted to where the manager is so afraid of losing the locker room, and this is Aaron Boone, by the way, so afraid of losing the locker room that 24/7 he has to stick up to these players, even when bullshit goes down, such as guys not hustling or guys simply making fundamental errors that they should be making. Gleyber Torres, Alex Verdugo, those are names right off the bat. Alex Verdugo, several times I've seen him not hustling. Gleyber Torres, the same thing. Gleyber Torres making mental errors. DJ LeMahieu, same thing, not running after a ball. I'm really just dumbfounded that Aaron Boone is complacent in all this and not calling these guys out, at least publicly. Maybe he's calling them out behind the scenes. I don't know. But it sure doesn't seem like it because he goes on these podcasts, he talks to these people, and it's all, oh, well, there's this, oh, well, there's that, oh, well, there's that. I understand you want to talk big about your players. No manager's going to go up there and say this guy stinks. I get that. But come on, there's been plenty of managers in the history of baseball that have spoken in front of the press and said, you know what that guy did out there today, that is unacceptable, and that there is no excuse for that. As it relates to effort, mental errors, and Aaron Boone, for whatever reason, he doesn't do that. For whatever reason, there's always an excuse. Gleyber Torres says, oh, I'm hurting a little bit. Aaron Boone says the same sentiment. There's always a freaking excuse. I'm tired of this. I've been a lifelong Yankee fan for my entire life. I'm in my early 20s. I live, breathe, and eat Yankee baseball all the time, 24/7. I watch this team countlessly. I've grown up around baseball all my life, watching teams playing, and it's incredibly just mind-blowing that there is zero accountability with Aaron Boone. Zero. I've yet to honestly really see it. Sure, he benched Gleyber Torres, but he benched Gleyber Torres after saying no, it's an injury, and he's kind of tired. You know what? He really honestly probably did that because Gleyber Torres was freaking pouting in the dugout. You had Rodon crying after one of his starts. I mean, come on, man. I mean, this whole Aaron Boone is just not the guy to lead this team. I'm sorry, he's not. And you could say all day till the cows come home. Oh, this team, World Series aspirations. Look, I'm right there with you. I'm not giving up on this team, okay? I just want to hope, honestly, at this point, that's just an awful, awful stretch, and they get out of this ASAP. But at the end of the day, the same things we were seeing from Aaron Boone, it's really killing this team right now because, especially when the team's struggling, all that stuff gets heightened, okay? Because the lineup's not hitting. The pitching's not been up to par with what it was at the start of the season. So it's embarrassing. It really is. It's a clown show. I saw that lineup come out. I'm like, what the F? I mean, are we serious right now? We're playing Jahmai Jones and all these minor league guys. I mean, it's really 2023 right now with this team. Just putting guys, pulling a lineup out of your ass is what it is. And a lot of that blame goes on Brian Cashman because when he assembled this team, one of the problems with this team is they had no depth. And we're seeing it right now because we got Stan out, Dominguez is out, and we got pitching guys out too. So we're really feeling it, people. I mean, at the end of the day, now we're heading into the dog days of summer. It's Independence Day. Trade deadline's on the 31st. All-Star game cannot come soon enough. I believe that's on the 16th through the 19th, I believe. I don't know, man. And that double play to end the game. Didn't bunt the guy over. I can't believe it. And Trevino can't throw anybody out. Ellie De La Cruz running around the bases, getting stolen bases. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's just honestly, it just feels like, and I understand there's ups and downs of a year, but I feel like listening to Aaron Boone and the decisions he makes and the way this team is ran, I feel like this record, yes, we have a great record still, but I feel like they get complacent. They get freaking complacent. They really do. They ride on their laurels. We're the New York Yankees, always making the playoffs. Consistently good, except for last year. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it, really. It's just the same. It just feels like the same pattern. Okay. And hopefully they turn it around. I don't mean to come on here and be a negative Nancy, but this is like a really low point right now for this team. So I don't know. It's look up and down the lineup. Yankees had 5 hits tonight. The Reds had 3 hits, and they pulled this one out. Rodon just, had trouble again with the fastball, the location. It's been a big problem with him. You know, he's got the highest slugging percentage in the league, I'm pretty sure, against, against guys, hitting his fastball. And yeah, it's not good. Even though he was better today, he didn't implode. But, every run you give up, I mean, the Yankees were down 3-0. It felt like they were down 7-0. I mean, it's just the way it is right now. And the bullpen's been looking better, at least. I mean, Tonkin came in, went an inning and 2/3, didn't give up a run. Canely, I mean, the bullpen didn't give up any runs. I mean, shout out to them. They've been looking a little bit better these last few games, especially Canely. I mean, he's been great. 2.51 ERA. It's just a shame the lineup is yet to hit right now. And, Jahmai Jones, I mean, we went 1 for 3 at least, had a double, but I don't understand why we feel like we need to give these guys playing time when clearly there are guys right now that have earned their keep and have been performing enough to be in the starting lineup over a lot of these guys. I don't know. I would love to hear the rationale other than them saying, "Oh, yep, lefty-lefty matchup," because that's just bullshit. It really is. If they truly believe that, then they're dumber than I thought because that's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Explain to me, Ben Rice, this guy comes up, he starts raking, hits a lot of doubles, walks a lot. If this guy is legit, like I said, he's going to have to face left-handers sooner or later. Now obviously you have a lot more right-handers in this league than left-handers. Being a left-handed pitcher is kind of a rare thing. But look, Anthony Rizzo deals with it. So look, if you're legit, you're going to have to figure it out. And I don't know why they can't figure it out now. I don't know why you can't give them that shot. Just feels like you're really screwing with them. It really does. Send them back to the minors if you're going to only play them half the time or 2/3 of the time. I really don't get it. So that's it. I mean, and then Verdugo, he's got to pick it up. I mean, he had a hit today. LeMahieu, same thing. I mean, we've gotten no production from any of these guys that right now that we expect to get production from outside of Soto and Judge. Verdugo in 241, he's still struggling. LeMahieu, I don't know if that guy will ever get right again. It's just he just really can't hit balls that hard. Even balls that he's into the warning track, it's just like his power's gone. And I know he was never a huge power guy, but he's not hitting any home runs. It's just, not 85% of the time, just weak ground balls rolled over on to the shortstop or third baseman. Jahmai Jones shouldn't even be in a big league lineup. Trent Grisham is a bench bat. Trevino, I don't know why we keep starting him and then going to Wells and expecting Wells to come up in tough spots. It's just, yeah, I'm just beating the same old drum right now. It's just, the positives you want to look at is the series will be over tomorrow and they can move on and hopefully win a freaking series and get on with this because it's just bullshit right now. The Reds are not a good team. Okay. You got India and De La Cruz and Candelario. That's about it. The rest of the lineup sucks. So who's getting the ball tomorrow? End the shit show. It's just, and there's zero. I mean, Aaron Boone, his job's not in jeopardy. So there's literally no. Oh, yeah, we're going to face old Frankie Montas tomorrow. That should be fun. Please don't get swept and ruin my 4th of July. That would be great. And that's it. Fix this shit show because I'm sick of recording these episodes and saying the same thing over again. Anyway, happy 4th, everybody. And I will see you after this last game, this third game of the series on today on the 4th, technically, because it's past midnight. So see you guys then. Happy 4th, everybody. Have a good night.